Hi guys, long week. Friday's finally here. Happy Friday, boys. Cheers to that one.
Yes.
Breaking down the buzzword, Web3. What does it mean to you guys?
I think it's good to start with a comparison of what was Web 2 and what we're trying to do with Web 3. Anything that you access through the internet end up being just a relationship between you, the client, and a server owned by a company. So that can be like Google Cloud or Amazon. It's very centralized. Whereas Web3, the goal basically is to decentralize that servers. It's not just you querying a single server on Google's or Amazon side, but it's more a network maintained all around the world by different entities, different actors, different people, individual or corporations.
I like the idea that you mentioned trying to port Web2 apps into a decentralized network, which is also mainly what our clients at Archon want to do as well. They come from a more like TradFi and they want to revive concept that they know in TradFi and then decentralize it. So yeah, I think I agree with that definition. It's a good start.
As a Web2 project, obviously I've heard about Web3. There's a lot of hype around blockchain. It's also compounded by a lot of negativity. There's a lot of bad actors in the space at the moment. I think there always will be, but that's also the same for Web 2. How do we convince people in Web 2 to adopt Web 3 technology and trust it? Because let's face it, we've seen a lot shifty, shady stuff happening in the industry, which doesn't reflect well for people like ourselves and many other people who are legitimately trying to build a better future for technology and for people as a whole. So how do we do something about that?
Web3, crypto, blockchain, all of that is buzzwords. Now it's AI, metaverse, and many Web2 companies are just trying to ride the hype, and they don't even understand what it is. They don't understand they just repeat the buzzwords. I think what we need to do is really try to educate more about Web3 and make everyone, and especially the Web2 people, understand what are the use cases and why you want to get into Web3.
We also need to remember that the space is super young. So we're pretty much at Windows 95 of DeFi today. I mean, it's a very fast evolving industry. Progressively, we're seeing a lot of dApps coming up every single day. Depending on how you believe in this thing, I think there is the need for decentralized space. We're going to see a lot more Web2 businesses rethinking their model. And we already see the benefit of that in supply chain, for example. DeFi right now made for financial applications. Like you said, Kyle, there's some like shady stuff happening, but like in Web 2, it would be bad to pinpoint DeFi in Web 3 as, okay, it's a scammers industry. It's not. It's just like in any other industry. There's a percentage of scam everywhere. And since it's open to everyone, well, these scams might come up more often.
We've seen that a lot. And very recently, even here in Hong Kong, where we're based, Hong Kong is also a place that is embracing Web3 and promoting it and pushing it and trying to really scale it. Bitcoin, you look at the price of Bitcoin, it has absolutely skyrocketed. You compare that to your traditional ETFs or stock markets, the return is insane. Yet a lot of people are so skeptical about digital currency. Younger generations are more likely to adopt it through gaming, as you know yourself, Stephen, from Chains of the Eternals.
You touched a point that's super interesting. It's true that Bitcoin reached a super high, all-time high and crazy return, but at the same time, crazy drawdown as well. So I think for the common fella who doesn't know anything about crypto, anything about DeFi, Web3, and he sees Bitcoin going from 4K, 70K, he's like, damn, okay, there is potential. And then 70K, 16K. Well, this is also a pretty big drawdown. So I think this is why people are reluctant to kind of touch this industry, because they see that the potential to go up is there, but the potential to go down is probably more risky to them. In bear market, it's pretty illiquid. There's no liquidity in the market.
What do you think is required to get to that level of mainstream?
I think first it has to come with institutions. I mean, we saw BlackRock recently in the news that, oh, Bitcoin is valuable, suddenly it's valuable. I think what's required is them, unfortunately. We might not like big institutions with big bags, but we need this kind of liquidity and market making in Bitcoin, I mean, in Ethereum as well, so that eventually the market becomes more liquid. Eventually part of it becomes regulated, even if you can't really regulate Bitcoin for now. And ETF, we saw the recent applications by several different funds for ETFs for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that will most certainly bring more liquidity and adoption for sure for the general public.